Over the past several years, education in America has been dropping rapidly. The same education we used decades ago is still being used today. No new ideas are being brought to the table. That's why I thought of the New School, a revolutionary new school that will change the face of public education in America forever. Now, the question is, what will this school look like? What will be the physical structure? I personally believe that a public school system can be just as effective, if not more effective, than a private or charter school. Public school systems like Plano ISD and Allen ISD have gone against the grain of these failing public school systems and have shown that just because it's free doesn't mean it can't be a quality education. Now, one of the biggest changes at the new school from traditional public education will be the change in academic structure. For instance, faculty. It's important that we find quality teachers who know how to teach and can teach well. That's why the new school needs to work with nearby colleges and universities to find teachers fresh out of college who have no prior teaching experience to mold them into the teachers we need them to be. Probably the biggest change, though, in the new school from public education will be the change in subjects. Now, the new school will span 8 years, high school through college, but it will only cover the core classes for high school, 4 years each of English, math, science, and social studies. Now, the reasoning behind this is that students don't have the proper time nowadays in high school to choose career paths. When they get to college, they have no idea what they're going to take, what they want to major in. That's why people end up changing their majors so many times in college. The new school will help eliminate this uncertainty by helping students choose career paths earlier in their educational life. Another thing that the new school will do is increase the amount of social intelligence that students have. Here in Plano especially, we have a lot of kids that are very book smart. They can do all these complex math equations that, frankly, I don't even understand. But they're not very much street smart. They can do all these things that are incredibly impressive, but they can't do some of the simplest tasks simply because they've never been taught how to. That's why the new school will be offering courses that will teach these kids how to do tasks that, sure, you don't ever really learn in a classroom, but you should learn how to do them at some point. Things like fixing a flat tire, things like navigating without a GPS or a map. Students at the new school will all take these social intelligence classes alongside with their core classes. However, any other open space they have in their schedule is open for them to take electives. Now, the idea behind taking so many electives is simply because they need to get real world experience and see what types of things they'd like to do in the future. Another aspect that the new school would like to try and start doing is one that we've already seen here in Plano, where kids taking an elective go out and practice this elective in a real world sense. For instance, clinical rotations. However, this would be much more extensive at the new school, ranging from clinical rotations to auto body and mechanic work. The new school will run normal high school hours from 9 o'clock to 4:15, depending on where it is. Also, graduation requirements are the same as the normal public high school in that area. Another aspect is there is no homework. Schools in Finland and Sweden have gotten rid of homework and have seen an increase in productivity because now kids, when they go home, get to spend time with their families or whatever they like to do instead of having to work on more school after having been at school for 8 hours that day. All of these aspects will promote a better work environment and a better learning environment for all the students at the new school. Performance assessments, however, will not be that much different from public school. Grading will be the same. Average, worksheets and tests and quizzes in normal classes. GPA will also be a factor, and standardized testing will also be the same. Now, quite simply, the ultimate goal of the new school is to prepare students for life outside of school, whether that be college after the new school, the military, or the real world. Having a job, having a family, whatever it be, the new school's job and goal is to prepare you for that life.